Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is poet Anthony Taylor. I'm going to read my villanelle, which is creatively entitled Madonna. Madonna, during the 1980s, was playing dynamite. She exploded on the pop scene during the late 1970s. She was and still is an inspiration for generations of young people. I remember my first Madonna song during the mid-80s when I was working in Washington, D.C. Like a Virgin. Touch for the very first time. Like a Virgin, oh like a virgin. What memories does that song bring back to me now? It was a very big hit for Madonna, and everyone enjoyed that song like the other great song that came out that year. Material Girl, Material Girl, Material Girl. Everyone enjoyed that song because her music video that accompanied that song put emphasis on her singing and her dressing. Madonna on the music video for Material Girl reminded people of the late Marilyn Monroe. Madonna had exceptional talent to combine nostalgia with the present with her own style and grace. Madonna became an icon for pop music during the 1980s, like the Beatles became an icon for pop music during the 1960s. On the radio, on cable, and on regular television, fans of Madonna received the opportunity to see their icon through the media. Madonna continued to have big hits into the late 1980s. Madonna hits like Who's That Girl, La Lisa Bonita, if I remember the name correctly, Papa Don't Preach, Erotica, Bye Bye Baby, and so many more hits. Madonna, the essential queen of pop music. Madonna, the icon of the 80s. I will always remember Madonna because of her gifted singing and her talent to blend in sex and romance. What a beautiful combination of the two during the 1980s. It would be too personal to mention my sexual encounters of the 1980s, but there is one thing I can tell you. The experiences were great, historical, and to this day I do not regret none of them. Madonna and sex were a combination. I remember I had a gym membership where I could work out and try to maintain my weight. It helped me somewhat because I worked in a great deal of movies as an extra. I enjoyed those days working on the set. But that era took place later in the 1990s, and that is definitely a new and different poem to write than the one I'm writing about Madonna. Madonna, Madonna, the queen of pop music. She blended in Marilyn Monroe, Lana Turner, Dusty Springfield, and Mae West all into one act, with her being the lead. Madonna, Madonna. What would my life would have been without hearing the sweet music of Madonna from the 1980s? Madonna continued with her music from the 1980s into the 1990s and eventually into the new millennium. Madonna eventually made a couple of movies. Madonna, the 80s ended with one of Madonna's biggest hits, Papa Don't Preach. Papa Don't Preach, Papa Don't Preach, I Made Up My Mind. What a song that was to hear coming from the pop diva. Madonna, entering the 1990s, still continued to blend her music with sex, romance, and the unimaginable. Madonna made appearances more than once at the Academy Awards presentations. She was always dressed to kill. Madonna was true blue in her song and her professional career. Madonna was so impressive with her talents and music that a specially designed book was created during the early 1990s entitled Sex. This book was made of light steel and spiral bound. It gave some intimate details about Madonna, her music, and the playing of sex. The book Sex, when it first appeared in the bookstores, was very, very expensive to purchase at that time. The book did not sell for the very reason that it was too expensive to purchase. At that time, during the early 1990s, I saved a lot of money to purchase that book. I wanted that book because I was a fan of Madonna since the 1980s. Unfortunately, I sold the book and now I'm in the process of ordering a new book. Madonna, the pop diva queen. I will never forget. She continued to have success in the movies, the selling of her books, the selling of her music, and she even had a personal line of makeup to be sold at Macy's department store. Madonna, what a life she led. Madonna, inspiration for generations to come. Madonna gave the world a new definition of the word talent. She was admired by her peers in the industry such as the late Whitney Houston, the late Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Boy George, Earth, Wind and Fire, Smokey Robinson, and the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin. Madonna. I enjoyed her music when the sun was up and shining, and when the clouds were in the sky full of tears waiting to be released upon the surface of the earth. Her music was joy to my ears and love to my lips. Madonna and her exotic dancers were out of this world. Madonna had an entourage of exotic dancers who helped her performance come to life. Her entourage consisted of black, white, peoples of the Hispanic culture, single, married, straight, bisexual, or homosexual. Madonna did not discriminate against anyone if that person was qualified to perform well in her entourage. The 1980s in Madonna, what a combination. The 1990s in Madonna, what a combination. The story of Madonna continues until the new millennium. However, I did not follow her as close as I did when the 1980s and 1990s were here. Madonna continued to gather large crowds and to make her music. For myself, I have tried to blend romance, sex, and orgies into my own songs and poems. One of my songs is on iTunes and Amazon.com. It is entitled How Do You Do It, When You Do It, Every Time You Do It, When It's So Satisfying to Me. After the reading of this poem, I hope everyone purchased the song through the internet. Madonna, Madonna, she was a star in my life, and I hope she was a star in your life. I do not know if she has been nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, or not. If she has not been nominated, she should be nominated and inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum. This concludes the reading of my poem, Madonna. This is poet Anthony Taylor. I'm also a songwriter, but that was a poem. So that concludes the reading of that poem, the Villanelle Madonna, and I hope to see you on the next episode of the Anthony Taylor Poetry Show. Thank you.